Welcome to the Hampshire 1900 start for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 20th of March 1969. So we've come through another winter, and if you watched the previous video you'll be aware that I had a bit of a disaster in Lymington, and what I want to do in this video is rectify that. And then the other thing I want to do is trying to improve my actual track laying capabilities, because the original track laying stations like this, which I've put together, are now getting a little bit dated, and also they don't really have the strong workforce because they're in a very awkward position. So what I want to do is work out a way that I can actually get far more faster track laying, because if I show you the map here, we've got a lot of track to lay. And that's just on the mainland here. When we get to the Isle of Wight, we're going to have to find some way to lay track on the Isle of Wight as well. So we've got a lot of track to lay in order to get this economy working now, because from going forward now, the main mode of transport between different areas is going to be trains. Now, this area here is kind of fairly settled at the moment. The only thing I'm still trying to do is, has it been finished actually, come to think of it? Is I've been trying to, oh no, we're still trying to build this. Let's make sure it's high priority. Where are my construction trains? Let me just see where my construction trains are before we move on. Okay, you're in here. No workers yet. See, this is the problem I've got, is that we don't have any workers because we're having to bus people out a very, very long distance. Here they come. If I speed the game up, you see these guys are now going, and this is probably a very good example of the problem that I've got. And bearing in mind that we've got a heck of a lot of track to lay out here as well. The problem I've really got in this area is the fact that I don't really have a lot of spare workforce unless I build it down here, and this is in the wrong place completely. So laying the track in this area may be a little bit more long term. I'm kind of thinking a little bit of putting some track laying down in this area, and this is a bit advantageous. If you watch the end of the last video, I was working on this area. And if I kind of go in here, you'll see that I had to do a lot of leveling. And what I've actually managed to get in here is the store. And I've also put in a rail link here, which will bring in the crops. I've put a meat storage in for long-term planning, and also an open store to bring in the necessary supplies for the maintenance, because this is going to be a little bit out of the way. And then you can see I've also started to lay out the track this way. So basically Farehams going to grow into this area, down through here, maybe a little bit along this road, and then there'll be a little bit of a gap here. And then what we're going to do down here in Gosport is do something a bit similar with the track. So again, it comes back to that theme that I was saying about the fact that we are going to be laying a lot of rail track. Now if I get rid of that and come here, you'll see that I'm a little bit worried about, I've built these buildings. So what I'm going to need to do, so the actual construction is getting a little bit ahead of what it's actually meant to be doing. So what I've done is I've stopped the construction on the bigger buildings, and we're just going to try and build the infrastructure in instead. So one thing I do want to do is plan that infrastructure, but at the same time we've got things like this connection here, this open store, which has got a road out there. So we're trying to build the road into there. Now if I come over to Southampton, what we've got here is we've finally opened up our, I mean, I haven't got everything in this yet, but what I've done is I've opened up this to be able to start building stuff. But you can see here at the moment I don't know if you've got it. We'll put you on there. Is that they don't have a lot to build. Is probably the polite way of saying it, because we haven't yet got in the road connections. What I did do is I put a mud road up here so that we can start to get in and lay the actual track in there. But what it does do is it gives a little bit more emphasis on trying to get Totten set up and populated as well. So that's got to be another project that we need to pull together. And then if we go down to Milford-on-Sea, Milford-on-Sea is stable, but again, what I would like to do, if I can, is shut this down and move this way. And what I did in the last part is we started to put together a new rail construction office up here. And then what this one would be, it will pull the workforce up from here. So now we're going to get at the scene of our disaster. And it was a disaster, but you can see a few managed to come through. They've got pretty bad kind of working capabilities. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let because we've got about 1,450 over 21s in here. The temperature's 19 degrees Celsius. So what I'm going to do is just do this relatively simply, just by saying we're going to let the population flow back in again. What I am going to, this area here, you can see I've already said that they can flow into here. I've got the police station set up. We've also now got secret police in here as well. Now, one thing I do need to get sorted out here is the garbage collection, just to speed the game up so that we can get. Now, there will be a problem with the kindergarten simply because the productivity in this area is going to be very low. Because one thing I will do is I think I set up. We're going to clear these because I set up a couple of direct. And I'm going to let people flow into here, into here, into here. So really populating is a lot more straightforward. It's just allowing the people to kind of flow in and settle down. We've still got the big one. Actually, I think what I will do, I think I will put you back into there and say I want 100%. The reason for doing that is that we need to make sure we've always got max number of shoppers in here, so that because if they can't get food, things can't build up. I've got workers waiting here, loading, unloading. I certainly don't want you there. Okay. And we've got our heating plant running now. That should be, where is it? Where's the heating plant? There it is. So this is now at max. This is potential problem, too many connections. But that's okay, because what we will be doing is putting in probably a second heating plant about here so that they will overlap. But we're going to worry about that in the future. What we just want is for the population to get in here. More importantly, I think what I will do is get a couple more fire trucks into here. So that we've got good, strong fire coverage in this area as well. So hopefully, just make sure that's working. So what we can do now is just let these guys settle down and start building on fire. Where's that? Always in Warstock. It's the garbage collection. I mean, there's still a lot of things that need sorting out in Leamington, but yeah, we've still got 775. There's our fire truck coming in there to put the fire out. So while we're here, just see, yeah, this guy is now And I suppose we can't really plan the construction office here, rail construction office here, because unless I can get it, see I can't, have I got any unemployment in this area? Maybe that might be an approach that I can do. Unemployed. You've got a little bit of unemployment in this area. The problem would be is where would I put the we've got people here. The problem's going to be is where would I, if I put a rail construction office in here, will that defeat the idea? Positive side is if I could squeeze a rail construction office in here. We don't need a big one. That's 359. It's a bit long though. Although we could bring a... You've got 20 unemployed there. If I put you about there... or actually what we could do is put you about like that. That might work. But that's... No, we need it that way round, don't we? If I put you that way round... Yeah, I think I might be able to make this work. It's going to be a... It's kind of not in the best of places because it's only come that far forward. But I think this might work as a temporary rail construction office with the emphasis on the word temporary. So if I put you there... We don't want anything particularly that elaborate like that. How far will the workforce... You're not really going to get into there, but if I put across a asphalt... I don't want that one. Cancel that plan. I do something like that. Yeah, that will suck in the workforce from this area. Now the question is, how am I going to do the connection? We've got, what's the signal here? Okay, if I bring the track out here, we're going to put a wood-based track, like that. Oops. Remove that signal there. It's going to mess things up a little bit, but if I put you around like that, we are going to need a we're going to need the ability to move the trains backwards and forwards. If I can put, let's remove the dots there and then put in my crossover there. What have I just been, oh, we've just been researching vaccines. I think that clears up. Just go into here and just take a quick look. Okay, we've got to do citizens vaccination now. Because we want to keep our population healthy. It's important to stay on top of this. So if I come into here, minimize that down. So we got the track, we got this track in here. It's going to cause a little bit of problems here, but we can live with that. The gravel source is quite close, so we don't need to worry too much about that. We won't need electronics, but I wouldn't mind a open hole storage. Put an open hole storage. We do need a waste pickup point here. We need to get 2 of them in here. Actually, if I put in the open store first, so I don't know why I keep pausing the game. I think it's because I'm just started playing EU5, and one thing you do tend to do is put the game on pause a lot more. So I think I'm kind of developing a habit of just pausing at every possible. I think we're put in, if we put you that way, like that, and then we put in a, where is it? Put you in like that, and then we will, again, we're just going to run gravel roads because there's no point doing anything too elaborate here. I've got a where is it? Where's my road crew out here? Oops, sorry. I've lost the, there you are. These guys are kind of sat around, not doing much. I think eventually they're going to disappear as well. Okay, this has been picked up. I am going to put these on high priority. Actually, we're going to put all these on high priority, I think. Right, so we're going to build into here. We're going to get this connection here. We're going to get this built. And then what we will do is move the track. Actually, what I might do, because these are, I think what we will do is we will move away from the coal fired track layers, because if I hopefully we'll be able to build the right track layer here as well. If not, we might have a bit of a problem. Oh great. Yeah, what we're going to have to do when that is built is, what I would like to do is just want to see how much they're going to cost, because we only got 20 million. Track layer, track builder. I would like to go to the, they're only 1.8 million. What I'd like to do is actually bring these online, because these are a lot faster than the train. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of the steam. Why are you North Distribution Office? Oh, you still burning excess? Crawley industrial rubbish. Why are you? Okay. You gonna send. What I'm doing is staging the industrial waste. You need to put it to there, so that eventually it will get sent up to here. And say the track laying in this area. Team, we're on a bit of a roll. I've got a lot of vacant buildings here. So what I'm thinking is this is going to be a more permanent rail construction, because as I say, we've got a lot of stuff to do out that way and also this way as well, because eventually we've got a coal mine down here that needs to be developed, and more importantly, we've also going to be pushing out into this area which is close to, that's Fareham, that's probably a bit, where's Swanwick? Swanwick's disappeared. There it is. Yeah, so what we'll most likely be doing is putting in farms in this area. There's also another little coal mine here. So we're going to be laying a lot of track in both directions. And what I would like to do is be able to tap into this workforce. So my instinct is to put the construction office in here. Let me just see if we could get one in here. Again, I don't want to go to an 8. I think we're... Oh, wow. Okay. If I put you... I can get you on this bit here. Something like that. Okay. This one I do want to put a road into there. Now what we will need to do is we're going to have to put some kind of footpath connection. Where's the footpath? Right, we've got a footpath there and a footpath there. So my instinct is we're going to go for a tunnel. Which way round? It's going to be that way round. I'm going to aim it in that direction. Actually, we'll put you a little bit like that. Go put an underpass there. That's 133. And then what we will do is we will put something up like that when the road's been built, and we'll connect into there. Now the question is, how are we going to... we want to be able to access everything, and this is going to need quite a lot of... I don't want to interfere with these junctions, and I could put some kind of strange loop out here, because we got to connect that way and that way. And I don't really want to interfere with this line. I think what we will do is it's going to be a little bit over the top, but I think it'd be okay. It's only wooden track, isn't it? And we're going to run down. I mean, it's not like it's going to be electrified or anything like that. We're just put in a wooden track like that, and we'll just put a crossover, a banger crossover in about there. Yeah, I think this would work simply because, well, actually, I just noticed, oh no, this is, I think what we're going to need to do is left-hand drive, do something like that. Put you there. What I will do is, and I think to tidy this up a bit, what I will do is left-hand drive into there. And we'll make this into a kind of a cohesive junction coming out of here. And I suppose that's a good segue onto something else that I was thinking about, is that we've got a lot of food in here and a lot of alcohol. And so what I want to do is going to increase the food here, and we do need more money. So what I'm going to do is we're going to purchase an electric train. We're going to be all electric in this area from now on. What's the fastest one we got here? 160. I think that's, yeah. So we're going to get a CH5E and traffic jam. Okay, let me just check the traffic jam. Oh, it's this one here. This was a very bad design, but I'm hoping that that will fade away eventually over time. Right, back to up here in Eastleigh. Now, I don't want the train to steal everything. And I don't think we haven't got any boxcars in here, have we? Oh, yes, we have. We got 4 boxcars. Because you're moving crops. That's good then. What's the capacity? 53 tons, yeah. Ah, so I didn't really need to... Brains out to lunch. Sorry about that. I didn't think I was using this very much. But what I want to do is we'll wait for the train to go into there. We'll send him to there. Actually, okay, he's going to pick up 321 tons of crops. I want you to go to there. No. Cancel. Actually, no. No. Okay, I've messed that up. Right. You go to there. Yeah, I just realised that this isn't the one I want to put. I can't put this one into here. Right. You back to there. Sorted him out there. What I want is some cargo wagons. We're gonna get 1, 2, 3 of those. Are you back in here? Yeah, good. What we're going to do now is tell you to pick up from there, and you are going to go to there. Actually, no. There, remove that one. Right. What I need to follow this train, so let me just come here. I haven't followed a train for a little while, so what we want to do is get him to go up to there. Hopefully he will pick up all 3 wagons at the same time. Two, 3. Thank you, game. And what we're going to do is open you up. And I'm going to tell you to go to here. Here. Again, I want to make sure that he actually does the job. So we're just going to follow the train for a little while. And he's going to go down in here through the tunnel to get to the actual, because this is going, see, we've got the waste one here. So he's just coming in. Missing resource, yes, thank you, game. What we'll go, oops, what we're going to do is tell you to pick up food, alcohol, when it's more than 80%, and you are going to go to the border, unload food and alcohol, go to the, they might not be getting, no, okay. So this guy, why can't I select you? select you again. Okay. So you're going to go and pick up 100 tons of alcohol. Aha. This is the reason why I only bought 3 wagons. Because if you bought 4, he would have emptied it completely. And I don't want him to empty this completely. This is something you do need to consider. If I'd use this one over here, what he would have done is used the maximum number of wagons to move the actual crops. But so that's the reason why I've only bought the 3 wagons. And see how much this cargo. Yes, look at that. See that cargo, that 100 tons of alcohol is worth 401,000 rubles. So if we look at the economy, that's going to improve our economy for this month and push up that profit margin quite nicely. Now what we do need to do is just make sure high priority. Where is my construction train? Where are you working? I want to make sure you haven't wandered off somewhere. Missing. Okay. Why are you waiting for boards? I want this built, please. I'm not worried about boards as such. Well, I am worried about boards. Let's see if we can get someone to deliver some. I think I probably cancelled the delivery too. Yeah. We need. Where is our construction officers picking up boards from? Let me just see. We got our. Okay, where are you picking up boards from? Over here. Okay. And you are dropping off there 30%. What's 30%? I don't want too much in here. One thing I will need to do is demolish this. Because we don't really need it anymore. Where's the road crew? Train waiting too long. Yeah, we'll get to you. I'm just going to keep the game on pause. Okay, train waiting too long. I think he's got trapped on the thing. I'll tell him to ignore the signal. See, where is he going? Yeah, he's trying to get up to here. What type of signal is this then? Yeah, what we got here is I need to put that in there. Why are you laying this track? Does that mean you've actually finished? Okay, so we've now got this connection there. What we've got to do now is make this connection. This one might cause a little bit more havoc with the what's going on. So we need to make sure it's allocated. And then once we got this connected, we now then got to grasp the nettle of actually doing these, and it's going to get a little bit more tricky from that point of view. Right, this road is now connected, so maybe I should have used gravel in Southampton. I think we can get you there. I think what I will do is I'll build this and then we'll push the trains down onto this area and get all this built in so that we can get everything done and connected quite quickly. Right, so going to go back to Lymington and see what is actually going on over here. do we have any problems? Let's just have a look at the happiness. Well, the happiness is recovered. Everyone's looking happy, if there's such a thing. We've obviously got a problem with the road crew here. What's up with the road crew? What are you working on? Okay, you've got lots of footpaths and stuff like that. So who's stopped production? That's just our power supply. Where is our rollers? Asphalt plants, actually, I think. Okay, you're up here. Wow. Right, we might have a bit of a problem here. What road are you on? I think we're gonna suspend that road. And I think we'll send you home. I'm just gonna suspend these roads here. I think this is a little bit of a mess, and I do really want you down here. These are high priority, please. Get you working into there. How's the coal? Oh, there's one thing that's just struck me. Oh, we finished this. Haha. Yeah, there's just something that struck me. I just want to see if I can find it. It's a brand new mod. I think it comes under heating plant. See if I can find it. It may not come under. Yeah, here it is. This is a locomotive derived heating plant, and it's not going to put out a lot of heating. As you can see, it only does 15 gigajoules, but the idea behind it is that you deliver coal to it, and it's actually got I don't know if you guys can actually see it. If I turn that off, it's actually got a heating a locomotive here. And it seems it's actually for real. When I was reading it, I thought, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty cool idea, but it seems it's actually for real. It was used in, I can't remember which country the description actually said, but it was actually used to provide emergency local heating for small dwellings. And I thought that was pretty cool, actually. I quite like the idea of that. So we're now building in this. If we can get this built, obviously our train construction guy is that needs to be done. Make sure he gets that allocated so that he can get snow clearance. Get you out to here. And you can build that. I mean, he's built it pretty quickly, actually. Unfinished railroad. Okay, so we've got 2 there. The other thing I just want to take a quick look at is the metro line here. Yeah, we may need to divert one of our construction trains to here. We're gonna have 4 of them to speed up this process, because obviously we want to start getting our metro system working fairly quickly, so we can get more workforce into this area, and more importantly, more workforce down into this area. Although we will ramp this up over time. We've got no power supply here, so that's something we're going to need to look at. But I'm not going to do it in this part, because we don't want to put power into there, because then that will encourage the game to think, I can burn it down. Right, so I think this area is here. We got there. We just need to get some more trash into these areas as well. So let's get some trash collection into here. Garbage collection. I think if I can, I'll put you there. No, okay. We'll put you in very close there. Do that. Do kind of, yeah, that will cover that area. At the cinema. Right, we've got trash collection here. We'll just collect biological for the moment. Got a new vehicle type. See if we got any other. Right, you're built. Again, we'll just drop in one little bit of biological. So we are about here. Do we have any trash collection in this area? Is this, yeah, this is going to be way over the top. So we need trash collection in here. Oh, this could be a little bit tricky. Okay, we may, oh, I think we've got some trash collection there. I don't think we've got a road connection. Let me just see. Is it? Oh yeah, there is a road connection there, so we're going to bump the priority on that, because this is probably the trash is here. Got. Okay, let's make sure that that's got picked up there. Right, what we do need to do is set up this construction office. My instinct is to actually, I've just had a thought. We got accommodation here. We've got accommodation down here, which is going down this way. I think what I am going to do is we're going to put a bus station in the center here. Let me just put this in. And we're going to use this as a pickup point for our workers. Would that be, because we can expand this way. Actually, these workers are going to go into this. Actually, no, I think what we'll do is we can build these blocks. And what I'll do is I'll put the bus platform. We've got a road connection going out that way. Yeah, I think it would work quite well if we put in the bus platform. If I flip it that way, no, because that's going to interfere. Oh no, there's a road connection there, isn't it? So if I put something like that. Do something like that, and then it means that what we could do is put in here, but the primary role of this is going to be to actually be a pickup for workers, because every town needs at least one bus station, if for no other reason as to provide a connection for your workforce. And by workforce I'm meaning the actual what do we call it? What am I thinking? The sorry, brain's gone blank. Yeah, the actual workforce for building maintenance. That's it. Got there in the end. That will go that way. So I think if we put a footpath through there, so we'll just build in all these footpaths. And yeah, what we can do is build this in, and then we can use this as the pickup point. And more importantly, this should be, a little bit of curative connections, we might be able to make this. Okay, we're going to certainly put you to there. Yeah, and I think with a footpath out the back of here. Actually, I think what we'll probably do is bring a footpath up like that. Curve you round the top of the station like that. Bring you into there. And then what we can do is make a connection out of there. What I'm trying to do is have this within walking distance of this, which means if workers queue up here and then they suddenly decide that they want to go over here, they can do it. And what that does is it actually increases the range of your workers, but it's not as efficient as it should be. Right, we've got this little area here. My instinct is to go to my normal fallback, but this is already overloaded. So, how many connections we got up here? I think what I am going to do, while I'm thinking about it, you know, I've messed up the heating once in this area. We're going to try and get into here. Heat exchanger was the big one. Now I know that this may appear a little bit over the top, but by duplicating them, what you're actually getting is a lot more. They're supporting each other in the process of what they need to do. What I will do is we'll put a little mud footpath there because we may want to extend the footpath out here. In fact, there's a very good chance I'll build a road through here because it's getting a little bit wide, but we will need to plan accommodation and other services because this shopping mall won't come all the way down into here. Plus this building here is out of range, so we're probably thinking another shopping mall down here so that we can expand outwards. So like that, go underground, pick up the large underground heating pipe, some infrastructure in the way. Put you there. Can we join these? So that becomes, and what that will do is once that's built, we'll have a second heat exchanger here, which will basically deal with the overlap here. So that as we build this area up, these two will provide the heat into this area. Okay, I'm aware that I'm running out of time now. I will populate this construction office off camera simply because the sources without steel. Wow. Okay. Obviously, we are consuming far too much steel, but that's okay. We can just grind through that over time. So I'm just going to run round and kind of double check what we've done, and then that will be it for this part. So if I come up to here, this is now right. We've now got the road connection there, so I can put in that footpath to there. Now the reason I'm doing a direct connection to the road is that if you put a loop in from here to here, that will give a maintenance problem for this pedestrian underpass. By doing it to there and then connecting it back in again, it will make sense. One thing I have forgotten here is actually the two kind of key ingredients. We're going to need a... Yeah, this is going to be embarrassing, isn't it? We're going to need a large dump. I put you that way, like that, and then if I put in, it's more for the steel and bricks and stuff like that, which needs to be done. The components aren't quite so important. Okay, you can go there, and then we can afford the big road round to here simply because this is only going to take the waste from here, so that's good. How are we doing here? All right, just research finished. Good. Right, all this is done. The only thing we need finished here, just want to do these two links. High priority. High priority. Okay, what's up with these guys? Okay, he's laying the track into here. Right. Blocking that train, but it's not that important. What I do want finished is this link, these two links here. Now, if I go back over to things, we're on the 27th of June. How are we doing here? I've lost, where am I? Where am I on the map? Okay, we're pulling this together. How has this been built? This is now being built. What I need to do is the center line here, but I think what are you guys working on now? Where are you? You're just coming back that way. Okay. What I'm going to do is we're going to get these underway. High priority. I think I need to build into here just make sure he's got... Yeah, you've got boards, you've got everything you need. Just clear that. Yeah, this is coming along really nicely. The one thing... Oh, I've missed one thing out though. We just come into here. I'm going to give you a dedicated distribution office. Like that. And then you can see here, this is this line in the center been electrified, or is it just not showing? Let me just check something. Okay. Let me go to here. Okay, so this bit. So the next step will be electrify up through here. But we've now got all this electrified. So what we need to do is upgrade this track to here. And then we got to push out to here and here. And then the awkward bit is going to be doing this, which is the reason why I'm going to need the higher speed construction trains. So again, this one is going to be diesel driven, so that this will no longer need coal and fuel and all the other stuff. And And then, of course, what that means is we could remove this bit here, leave this bit, tidy all this area up. That will mean we'll need less workforce here. And then that will sort out that problem. Anyway, guys, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.